Hello, Batman fans. So, today we have yet another Batman book review. This one is called Batman Ghosts. It's by Sam Keith. And one of the first thing that you should notice is that it's just given Sam Keith because he's both the writer and the artist of this book. And that's one of the specialities. And the artwork is pretty distinct. It's not a usual one which you see in the other Batman books, and we'll come to that in a minute. But this is the trade paperback that I'm going to show you today. I'm just showing you the cover close up as well as the back. So the question is, do you believe in ghosts? Right? And it talks about what stories it is. It is collected. It collects Batman Confidential 40 to 43 and never before collected miniseries of Batman Lobo Deadly Series 1 and 2. That's what it contains. What we'll do is we'll quickly start running through this book so that I can also show you guys some sneak peek into what this book contains. So let's get right to it. So Batman Ghosts. What it reminds me, one of the first things that it reminded me of is the artwork specifically in this is similar to Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on Serious Earth by Grant Morrison. And you will see some similarities of that here, although it's been done by two different artists. But the Batman you see here is starkly different from the ones I've seen, at least compared to a Jim Lee or a Greg Capullo and any of those guys who've drawn Batman in the past. But that also makes it quite unique and interesting, and that's one of the reasons why I got this book. The story starts off with homeless people turning up dead in the streets of Gotham, and Commissioner Gordon, whom you see here, calls Batman to investigate the crime, right? And it seems like this crime is being done by some creature because the body is pretty much eaten up, right? And then it goes to a backstory. I'm not going to give you too much detail about what this backstory is, but that's of a different character, the girl right here, and she is one of the people who handle these homeless people, and it's her backstory, right? Anyways, the story quickly starts jumping paces, and Batman goes and starts investigating on the crime. I'm showing you guys a quick snapshot of the panels herein, and of course the girl we see here, her name is I think Colleen. She is very closely linked to this entire story, right? And then the Batman himself get attacked by the creature whom he's been chasing. So that's like somebody chasing the Batman himself in Gotham, pretty unheard of. And the way it approaches, that's the first issue, and then you go into the second issue, which is the cover page of this. I simply love this artwork where it shows the pain that Batman is facing. Yeah, so and this one again, a double page splash of what happened with his parents in the past. So it's kind of like a psychological story as well. It dives into Batman and the rationale why he becomes Batman and all that sort of stuff, which we've seen obviously through a lot of stories in the past as well. But yeah, and it tries to get into Batman's head, and again another brilliant two-page splash with the cops picking up the pieces of the victims here, if you can make them out. It's not a great artwork for my liking. I think the artwork is passable, but it's more like a psychological kind of story rather than a pure like fun read. So not for everybody. So that's like a disclaimer, writer friend. But yeah, for somebody who is a hardcore Batman fan and wants something different to read of Batman, then I think it's a good read, right? That's how I will recommend it. And I think some of the panels are just passable, so I'm just quickly jumping through it. That's the mystery that Batman is trying to solve. At the same time, he's trying to understand how the ghosts, the so-called ghost, knows so many things about him and his past, right? And that's where it will end. I mean, there's not much of a climax or a suspense that I have in my hand to reveal or anything, but at least I wanted to give you guys a glimpse of what this book, I mean, if you purchase this book, what will it be useful for you? Will you like it, etc., etc., right? So yeah, that is the story. That's called Batman Ghost. The only thing you need to figure out is there a ghost in the story, or is it just an imagination, right? And that's the fun part of it. And post that, we jump into the second story, which is, at least it's said that this is the first time it's collected, and that is Batman and Lobo. I've never seen this crossover, at least never have come across this single issues as well. This one is also by Sam Keith, art also by Sam Keith. Interestingly, the colors are done by Alex Sinclair, who is one of my favorite colorists, and it's called Deadly Serious. Although I think that's the most oxymoron kind of name you can give this to this story. I find it not at all serious. It's a completely gag kind of story, where Batman and Lobo ends up in a spaceship and they're hunting a virus kind of thing, which jumps from one human host to another. And obviously, to make it more interesting, it only jumps from one female host to another, so it's only attracted to female, and the first thing the females do is just take off their dress the moment they get the virus. I don't know what crap this is, but anyways, it's laughable. I think that's the most bittersweet part of it. I mean, the interaction between Batman and Lobo is pretty hilarious. I think that's the cherry on the top for this story, right? But other than that, as you can see, the artwork stands out. Again, that's by Sam Keith, so you could expect a similar kind of artwork as it was in the previous Ghost storyline, and that's why it's collected together, all by Sam Keith. Yeah, and if Lobo is there, and there is meant to be a lot of action, and obviously a lot of hot girls as well, which whom start showing up. And yeah, one thing which surprised me was why Batman and Lobo are shown in similar sizes. Lobo is supposed to be much more bigger than Batman, at least in my mind. Anyway, I'm not debating a story which itself is pretty, like, I mean, the story itself is pretty confusing to me. But yeah, but it's a fun read. I mean, no complaints there. And ultimately, it kind of ends up in a male body, like only because that male body has a lot of estrogen in it. That's another logic which was hard to digest. But yeah, now you could see who that person is. Interesting take on the entire bit. Now that we are dealing with a lot of virus in our own lives, it's interesting to see a zombie kind of virus in this storyline. But yeah, but if you guys like this video, one request I would have for all of you is that please do subscribe. I have a lot of contents with me, but it feels very motivated to see more people liking this kind of stuff and enjoying the kind of stuff that I'm putting out, which gives me more reasons to buy and put up more videos. So please do subscribe and like if you like these videos. But yeah, so how would I rate this book? I would rate this a 3 on a 5 for story, and 2.5 on 5 for artwork. I think even 2.5 is a bit high. I mean, it's not to my taste, but I think it's a different take on Batman completely. I think which is a fresh feeling, right? I mean, you might have got bored to the regular, completely logical and completely rational Batman story. So at least this stands apart from those. So that way I feel it's good storyline to get in. Yeah, so that's a quick snapshot and storyline of Batman Ghosts. I hope you like this. So until next time, this is Street Smart Joker signing off. Bye bye.